From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Good Monday morning. It's 6 o'clock. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Happy to see you starting your day with us. And Miller, happy to have you here too.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Did you have a good weekend, Victoria?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. You know, are we having any sunshine in our forecast? Because if we aren't, at least you're our sunshine of the morning.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I am your sunshine, your only God. Now, you know, when we were talking off camera that, you know, I had a little bit too much creamer in my coffee this morning, and my nose is will not stop running this morning.
Yeah,
and you said, now what did you call it? It's like a blood test type thing you can get?
Yeah, there was a, talk about with the stimulus money that we got the first time around, this ad popped up on Facebook for a food sensitivity test. And I'm like, that sounds interesting, I'm gonna buy it. And so I bought it and it came back, I have a dairy sensitivity along with peanuts. And so that was just interesting. Some of the foods you're eating daily, you might not realize the overall effect it's having on your body. And so that'd be worth looking into.
That might be what it is, you know, and it only happens in the morning time if I have too much dairy in the morning, but during the daytime not so bad. So and it's a little kit that I can get.
Yeah, look it up online, food sensitivity test.
I'm nervous to take it because all the food that I love, I'm sensitive to it, and I won't be able to.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
At least if you're sensitive to it, you'll be more aware of like, oh, here's this grilled cheese for breakfast. I'm going to have a runny nose now.
Cheese for breakfast.
I don't know.
I like the way you think. You know, you wouldn't have any on you right now.
No, sorry.
Hey, before we get into the forecast, something serious that's going on. There's something very special. You know, it's all about childhood literacy. It's National Reading Day on January 23rd, and we have teamed up with Lockwood Elementary it's called If You Give a Child a Book campaign, the Scripps Howard Foundation, and you can be a part of this. Now, we've already read some cards from the kids at Lockwood. We're going to do some more as we go along this week, but we're all about reading here, and if you go to that website right there, it shows you how you can get involved in a very, very special campaign. You know, if a child starts reading at an early age, they have a better chance of success later on in life. So we want to make sure read, and read often. If you're a parent, pick up a book, do a bedtime story, whatever you can to get your kids interested in reading, which opens up whole new worlds and different words and things that you can learn. It's so cool. But anyway, go to that website for more information. It's a wonderful, wonderful campaign. 31 right now here in Billings, winds out of the southwest at about 25 miles an hour. So take a look around Montana and northern Wyoming. We're looking at temperatures mainly in the 20s and 30s. We do have some single digits. Bozeman, ding, ding, ding. You've got the cookie right now for our coldest spot at 1. We've got Worland at 10. Up in Williston, we're clocking in at about 25. And we're going to be above average with our highs today as we take a look at that day planner. Getting back into the 40s today here in Billings with lots of sunshine to get us there. We'll see some clouds mixing in as we go along later today ahead of another system that's coming out of the west that will give us a chance maybe at some snow and some rain as we get into Wednesday. And then the winds really start to kick up behind that. And we'll tell you more about that with the main forecast coming up. Did you know that today is Clean Off Your Desk Day? And I hate to do this, but I've only been here a couple of weeks and I keep walking by this one desk. I'm like, whose desk is that? We got to clean the clutter off. And it turns out it was Victoria's desk.
It's
and
not that
if
bad.
you missed this earlier, just some of the stuff that she had. I mean, she's really getting into the warmer temperatures here. She's got herself a Bermuda shirt. Again, you know what? I don't even want to ask about that. All right, this one here, just still, you know what? If you ever want to come over to my house and use this, please feel free to. How you even got this on your desk? I don't even know.
I've been framed. That is not mine. Not mine, I promise.
I would crank it up, but there's no gas in it. All right, cool.
Good thing. Might be a little loud.
Oh, man.
All right, Miller. Well, thank you so much for cleaning off my desk.
I still got work to do. Whew.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. All right, I'll get to the news. Thanks. Our top story this morning, the House of Representatives is preparing impeachment efforts for a second time. With just 9 days left in office, President Trump is preparing to ride out this final week and a half despite growing calls to resign. CBS's Deborah Alfarone brings us the latest.
A growing number of Republicans say President Trump should leave office now.
To resign and go away as soon as possible.
I think the best thing for the country to heal would be for him to resign.
But with resignation unlikely, Democrats are looking at other options to hold President Trump responsible for the assault on the U.S. Capitol.
Nothing is off the table.
In an interview with 60 Minutes, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she prefers the 25th Amendment to immediately remove the president from office.
Because it gets rid of him. He's out of office. But there is strong support in the Congress for impeaching the president a second time.
House Democrats will attempt to pass a resolution this week calling on Vice President Mike Pence and the cabinet to act. If they do not, Democrats say they will introduce articles of impeachment.
Every minute and every hour that he is in office represents a clear and present danger.
A draft article, Incitement of Insurrection, alleges that President Trump's conduct on Wednesday gravely endangered the security of the United States.
We will never give up. We will never concede.
The House could wait months to send the articles to the Senate. If convicted, even after his term, it would prevent Mr. Trump from running again in 2024.
Let's give President-elect Biden the 100 days he needs to get his agenda off and running.
Yesterday, police held a procession on Capitol Hill for Officer Brian Sicknick, who died from injuries he sustained in the riot. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Capitol Police say another officer who responded to the riot died off duty. Two people familiar with the matter say the officer died by suicide on Saturday. The FBI has been using photos and video to track down those involved in the riot. On Sunday, they arrested two men, including the one seen here with zip ties. So far, prosecutors have filed dozens of cases with charges ranging from entering restricted areas to assaulting police officers. One Montana man attended the rally in D.C. and from his perspective, believes the violence was spurred by a small group at an otherwise peaceful gathering. MTN's David J. spoke with him to get his firsthand account.
The energy was unbelievable. You could feel it. The crowd was massive, and it was just overflowing with citizens from all over the country.
Samuel Redfern attended the rally with his sister Abigail Redfern Mackey, a freelance photojournalist.
I was there not to do anything other than help my sister and our team document and record. So we weren't protesting, we weren't taking any sides.
Redfern says he supports the president, but he also went objectively to watch and listen.
I thought it was a hopeful message. There was a feel of change in the air. There was optimism. There was kind of an energy there. I know that people feel very passionately on one side that the president ordered a mob to go to the Capitol, and I challenge anybody anywhere to look at his speech. Nowhere did we hear that or see that in any message at all. I'll be honest with you, it did come across as a message that he was not done yet.
Redford estimates that a group of about 200 out of more than 700,000 at the rally broke into the Capitol.
I've had several security gigs and working in the veterans world in the last year, and so I know Antifa very well. I know their tactics, I know what they do, and I saw several members of Antifa splitting off and several members of other groups that I didn't recognize as Trump supporters. At no point did I ever enter the Capitol or come close. The farthest I ever got was up on stairs to photograph and document people seeing God Bless America, praying. People were just saddened when they heard that there had been an Air Force veteran killed. I think when that word came out through the crowd, there was a ripple. And that's when things changed. I could feel the goosebumps and the tension.
And he says veterans will work to help the country.
We've had questions about elections for a long time now. The veterans that I was talking to in D.C., they were very much unified that they're going to start working for either some sort of national voting standards or something that we can all, in a bipartisan way, move forward from.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
And meanwhile, you can expect added security on Inauguration Day in D.C. The mayor of Washington, D.C. is asking for a pre-disaster declaration to allow for federal assistance, citing the protest at the Capitol last week. She has also asked that the security period be extended 4 days after Inauguration Day and include the Capitol in the perimeter. The mayor also wants all applications for demonstrations denied during that period. Turning now to the latest COVID-19 news. Top health officials say the U.S. vaccine strategy is not working and that there needs to be a reset. Fewer than 7 million people have received the first dose, and some hospitals have been forced to throw away vaccines that quickly expired once they were taken out of cold storage. That's because each vial contains 3 doses, and sometimes there aren't enough people to vaccinate in the moment. Officials say this process needs to be streamlined to help stop the new, more contagious variant. The pandemic may be slowing down here in Montana. Just 129 new cases were reported Sunday and almost double that amount of new recoveries. That brings Montana's active total back below 5,000. There were no new deaths confirmed at the county level and 3 fewer active hospitalizations reported. Yellowstone County reported 47 of the new cases and 53 recoveries. While cases of COVID-19 are skyrocketing across the country, activity is extremely low for the virus we usually see in the winter months, the flu. CBS's Elise Preston has more on why flu cases are down.
Hospitals have been bracing for a possible twin-demic this winter, a simultaneous outbreak of flu while COVID-19 also surges. But data shows influenza activity remains unusually low right now. Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University Medical Center says there are a few possible explanations.
Flu is imported into the United States from other parts of the world, and travel because of COVID has been way down. Then, of course, most of us are out there wearing masks, social distancing.
Who spreads the flu may play a role. Dr. Schaffner says while COVID in many cases is spread by adults, kids are the group that tend to spread flu in our communities.
Now, a lot of virtual schooling goes on, and when you do go to school, children are wearing masks, social distancing. So I think the main reason is that children are not sharing this virus amongst themselves.
Also, a record number of flu vaccines were produced for this season. The CDC reports more than half of adults were vaccinated by the end of December, higher than the same time in prior seasons.
After all of these holiday get-togethers, I'm worried that this twin-demic could still occur in January, late January into February. There's still plenty of time.
Which is why social distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, and staying home when sick are more important than ever. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
75 million doses of the flu vaccine have been administered to adults so far this season. In campus news, the University of Montana begins its spring semester today. COVID-19 will remain UM's focus, but that doesn't mean students won't have any fun this semester. MTN's Megan Mannering has more on how the university is trying to boost morale.
Water fountains taped off, lecture halls deserted, and COVID signage on every eye-level surface. Without a doubt, the University of Montana offered a safe fall semester, but now that they've become masters of mitigation, it's time to focus on the fun factor.
We were really feeling as if the time had come for us to say, let's continue on with our mitigation the way we have it and see what we can add on to that will give people an opportunity to engage with each other a little bit.
Vice Provost for Student Success, Sarah Swager, says it took a collective brainstorming effort from everyone on campus, but they have a plan. When the university's spring semester commences this week, campus can expect the same COVID procedures, but they can also look forward to a series of winter events. For starters, a temporary ice rink now occupies the Oval.
In addition to that, we have a number of new opportunities for students because we are lucky that we live in a place where winter is actually a really good time of year for us to spend time outdoors together.
Swager says they're grooming trails at the UM golf course to offer students cross-country skiing, offering treats, live music, and portable fire pits on the Oval, even partnering with the Roxy for free movie nights.
It's just a way to sort of break up the week a little bit and give students a chance to come out and say hello to the others who might be gathered out on the Oval and spend some time together.
Students, unfortunately, won't have the luxury of an all-in-person semester or crowded sporting events or their usual lineup of live performances. But the new activities will bring a little bit of normalcy to the school year.
It's a positive addition to the academic environment, and it's a way for us to sort of give back to students and let them know that we really do care very, very deeply about their social health and their emotional health.
In Missoula, Megan Mannering, MTN News.
Those living in residence halls will be offered free asymptomatic COVID-19 tests the first 2 weeks of the semester. That's in addition to the symptomatic test available to all students all semester long. In other news, applications are open for businesses to apply for loans in round 2 of the Paycheck Protection Program. The Red Door here in Billings is one of the city's first restaurants to apply a second time. Owners appreciate that this time the program is designed to help small businesses first. To be eligible, businesses have to approve a 25% drop in revenue from 2020 compared to 2019. The establishments that qualify can receive 3.5 times their payroll, and there's another perk.
Terms of repayment is there's no payments for the first 6 months, and then if you prove to the government that you used it for the right purposes, then you actually don't repay the loan at all. The government repays it for you.
The last day business owners are eligible to apply for the loan is March 31st. And before we take a break, it's time for this month's Awaiting Child. MTN's John Amy introduces us to Addison, a 12-year-old girl with a love of reading.
Addison Harrington is looking for loving parents that share her values.
People who like happy people, like overall happy people.
The 12-year-old likes reading, coloring, and helping out whenever she can.
She's kind, she's creative, gets along with the other kids. She's looking for a family that will be patient and kind and provide her permanency.
She's also looking forward to having pets of her own one day.
I would either get a skinny pig or a cat, and then I'd name the cat Robert and the skinny pig Julie.
Addison has been moved around quite a bit lately, and she's really hoping to settle down with a loving family.
She's moved too many times for a child her age, and it's time for her to find a permanent place. But is patient and is able to go with the flow, even when it keeps flowing. You know, when lots of changes come at the same time, it's hard, but she handles it.
In Helena, John Amy, MTN News.
If you would like to learn more about Addison or just adoption in general, you can call the Montana Department of Health and Human Services at 1-866-9-FOSTER.